Hmm. Hey, what's up, Cave Trader? Huh, that's interesting. It seems like the isn't that interesting? The indicator is not working. It's not creating the orb. Uh, it's not creating the orb. I may have. It may have been my fault. Maybe I probably did something, but we'll just may have mistakenly deleted something or something. I don't know. For right now, we'll just leave it like that. Yeah, it's not even forming. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. It's not even forming. All right, so this indicator only works just enough to get you thinking that it's a good thing, and it doesn't work. Or what? It doesn't work on Fridays or something because it's showing the orb for the week, but apparently it doesn't work on Fridays. I mean, is that what's going on right now? Nah, bro. I'm in Central Time. I'm not in Eastern. I'm in Central. So it should be 8:40. The market opens 8:30 for me. I'm in Central Time, not in Eastern. Um, mm, mm. I guess it just doesn't work on Fridays. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I guess it don't work on Fridays, which is kind of stupid, but okay. Because it's showing up every other day, but it's not. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I guess it's safe to say it's kind of obvious what direction the market is going to trade in. That's fine. Yeah. Well, I mean, yesterday was a half day too, and it showed up. Hey, yeah, what's up, Jack? Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that Ninja Trader 8 I didn't know they do that or that they did that. Okay. It's not a big deal. Shit. Well, uh you said everybody counts it as one day? Give up now. Not gonna lie though, this does look like it's gonna try to break out to the upside though. Well, no, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. No. I'll wait for the I'll wait for the breakout to the low. Well, I mean, hold on, let me look at this, man. Let me look at this. Let me look. Because we did have a big move to the upside. We could potentially see the market. Hmm, all right, man. We'll just follow the rules, I guess. I want to see what this does. I want to see if there's actually a signal. All right, we got 2 more minutes until the. We got 2 more minutes. Oh, there it goes right there. There it goes right there. I wonder what just happened. Okay, there it is right there. All right, so 21.99, 2011.99, or 211.99. All right, so we're starting off with super low volume than what we're usually starting out with. At 8:30, we had 197,000 contracts being traded, and now we only got 211,000 contracts being traded right now. So we kind of expected it was going to be low volume, but I didn't think it was going to be this low volume. Or yeah, I didn't expect only 200,000 contracts being traded in the first 15 minutes of the open. Hey, what's up, Alfred? I already locked my funded account today, so I'm not actually even going to trade the my account today at all. Dang, so it seems like everybody is doing a 50% off. It looks like Take Profit Trader is actually doing a 50% off as well. Hey, yo, what's up, Investor Z? No, I don't think the. Hmm. I think the indicator might be broken. All right, we'll just see if I'll just leave it alone for right now, and we'll see if all this half day crap really did affect the because I don't think we're going to see a breakout. I mean, there's no volume. There's no volume. I don't think we're going to. I think we'll probably see the market just chop back and forth. Honestly, when it's all right. Um, and technically that's the range right there on the ES. Technically, this candle happened. I mean, do we count this candle? Mm-hmm. All right, there goes a 15-minute warp right there for the ES. That's a 15-minute right there. I don't think. I mean, I guess it could. I don't think we get a breakout to the upside though. I don't think we get a breakout to the upside. I mean, we might see a push to the upside, but I think today is a bearish day. The EMAs are just screaming that this thing is going to get sold off, and everybody, all the price action happened yesterday. You can kind of just see the psychology on the charts with the last couple of days. Everybody knew this week was going to be a short day, so price basically grinded the last couple of days. The bulls completed their objective. They took their profits, and now they're getting ready to see some fireworks with their family and friends. So yeah, I don't expect anything today. I don't expect nothing. Well, Cave Trader, it's been working the entire weekend, and it hasn't done it today. I mean, technically, it's working now, but so I don't think that this the tick base, and I don't think that's the case because you can see that it was working. It's just for whatever reason today, it's not working, or we'll see what happens next week. We'll see what happens. Well, two nine. All right, we don't have to watch this. We can look at shit, gold doing the same shit. Well, so I just think that gold this week was, I don't know, gold's definitely been on one this week. So I was telling y'all guys yesterday that I had a limit here to sell gold yesterday, but for whatever reason, she decided to miss that target and or fail to go higher at this I guess this what is it called, value area high yesterday. And then I wake up, look at a gold chart and see that, god damn, man, she couldn't have done this yesterday when I needed her to. She couldn't have done this yesterday. This was an easy setup right here. This was a 90% trade on gold. 90%. If price was able to get here, this was a 90% trade, man. And I fucking missed it. 90% trade in the funded account. But she failed. She failed me yet again. Yeah, gold's definitely been on one. I think she's trying to get on my list. I really believe she's trying to get on my list for sure. So that's a 90% trade on gold. You got a double bottom, and then you got a breaker structure down. Oh my God. That was a 90% trade right there. I would have took what, 2 points in drawdown, and my entry would have been 53 So from 53 all the way down to 41 so far. Or I apologize. Yeah, 41. But I do think that price could potentially go down a little bit further. Cause especially if they fail to trade above this double top right here. We definitely could see price continue to drag. Well, if it wants to break, I got my limit right there. So I gotta set a reminder that I got into the 15th to get that Tradeify account. I've already shared my opinions with the Tradeify account, but their straight to funded account is actually that's pretty decent. Uh, with that 50% off, it's about like $300 or some shit like that. $6,000 of drawdown. I can make 1,300. Oh, I'm not. I can. I can make up to $1,300 a day and get that payout on the seventh day. And each payout, I can take out $3,000 out of the account. That's actually a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. All right, so it just did something. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know where that So there's like a little arrow right here. Hmm. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta get my daughter off the potty. Give me a second. What? What? Ugh. Yeah, I know, Cave Trader. I know. I don't expect this to break out. There's no volume. We have a half day, no volume. I don't expect this to break out. And if we do break out, it's going to probably be to the downside. I don't think that we get that. Not today. Hmm. I mean, we had price basically trade, especially on the ES, 100 points without a pullback. I don't know. We've had abnormal price action on the indices as always and as usual because it's highly manipulated. Yeah, I think we see the breakout to the downside or prices trades into this range for the next 5 hours. We might see a breakout maybe at 10, 10:30, something like that. But uh, but we'll get back in. Let me get back in. It's not about to go out. It's not about. I ain't about to go out like that. If we're going to trust the orb, because it looks like it does kind of want to push up. Like the buyers are buying this. It does appear to be that way, but uh, yeah, they're definitely trying to hold this. So actually, because I do agree with you, Czar Trader. I know that if everybody's buying this right here, that means that their stops are right here too. And you too, man. Let's let's go into the weekend and come out of the weekend with all of our fingers and our toes. Uh, in all seriousness, please don't allow your friends, family, or anyone play with fireworks in a dangerous manner. I've seen a lot of online videos of people getting their hands blown off. Especially as traders, we're going to need our hands to trade. So stay safe this weekend and don't allow anybody to point any fireworks at you, et cetera, et cetera. I spoke about this yesterday. I speak with a lot of nurses, and every year is the same thing: blown up hands, blown fingers, and people are too drunk to realize what's happened. I mean, obviously they know what happened, but they're so drunk they don't feel it. They're in a blissful, ignorant state. And when they come out of it and they realize that 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a second, foolishness of impulsiveness, they have to live with that decision for the rest of their lives. And we only get one set of hands, at least in this lifetime. We have to wait until the next one to get our second pair. So, hold on, was that the 9 o'clock algo right there? Oh yeah, that was the 9 o'clock algo right there. Huh. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm actually not gonna take the long. Hmm. Hmm. Mm. Good thing I locked my account, man. I just had a feeling that the day was going to be like this. So before the session started, I just locked my account. I didn't even want to be tempted to take the orb today. If anything, I should have took that orb yesterday. I should have took the orb yesterday, but I did the responsible thing and locked out my account because I didn't want to. I didn't want to be wrong yesterday and then try to come into the session today to try to revenge trade. So to avoid all that, I locked my account today and yesterday, and I'm glad I did. I will say that Top Step is definitely getting a lot of heat for their business decisions. But the one thing that I do appreciate about that X platform is that I can lock myself out, and I can't do it. I can't go in and change it. I had to accept that during a moment when my mind was sound, I made a sound decision and locked myself out. And in an emotional state, I can't change that. And that's the one thing that I do really enjoy about the X platforms is that lockout feature, is the risk settings. I can block certain instruments that I don't want to trade and lock myself out because I do have a habit of once I see a loss, the first impulse is to go to the Nasdaq to get that money back. That's my first impulse. So just already blocking the Nasdaq as an instrument that I can't trade, and then locking myself out during those emotional states, I can't do anything. I like the fact that it blocks how many trades I can take. So I allow myself to take 3 trades, or actually, yeah, three, or I think it's 2 or 3. I think it's 2. I can only take 2 trades in my funded account. One trade, but I take one trade as the bulk. A follow up trade as if I can kind of get to break even. But overall, my maximum loss for a day is $450. I can come back from a $450 loss. I can't come back from a tilt loss because either I'm gonna get what I want or my account's going to be gone. And we all know what usually happens when you're trading on tilt. I can recover from a $450 loss. What's up, Cave Trader? What's up, Knife Art? Knife Art. I apologize. Yeah, I think that's probably the best option today, man. Investor Z. Very slow price action. If you didn't get that drop at the open, I think that's probably going to be the best trade that that we're all going to get today. I don't think nothing else is going to show itself. And if so, it'll probably be right around the time where a market is about to close. I mean, this is probably one of the slowest 4th of Julys that we've seen. It's probably one of the slowest ones that we've had because in the previous years, the market grinded to the upside. I think this is probably the first time that we've actually had a red 4th of July, actually. Historically, it grinds to the upside. But I guess it was a different market back. I mean, it was a different market. We had people getting socials. We had dead people trading. We had dead people trading. You know, they was investing in the afterlife. It's crazy as that fucking sounds. Uh, there was just a lot of money in the market during the last administration, and we all understand why. I just think that it's very interesting that as soon as Doge cleaned up a lot of the fraud, waste, and abuse, all of a sudden now the market wanted to act right. Now it's acting right. Now it wants to drop from 22,000 or from all-time highs back down to 16,000. Now it wants to act right when all the fraud was discovered, all the dead people investing in the markets and voting and shit. Now the market want to act right now, right? So yeah, this is definitely a turn. I will say that. Uh, yeah, that's definitely true, man. That's definitely true. Them tilt losses, man. And you know the crazy thing about those tilt losses is that nothing's enough. It's I don't know. I really don't know what the logic behind that is. It's I understand that in the human experience we fear loss. And then when we lose and we're trying to get it back, nothing's good enough. And so we lose it again. So it's like, I mean, what's the point of that? Like it's emotions are very dangerous. Uh I'm not gonna spoil this for anybody, but I watched Squid Games with my partner. I think last week when it came out, June 27th. And I will say that Squid Games has definitely shown the dangers of being emotional. The dangers of being emotional literally cost participants their lives in those games. If we can kind of translate that to trading and think of our accounts as those participants in the Squid Games, because if you really think about it, your trading account is a participant in the Squid Games in the market. Either you're going to win and play the next game, which is your next position, or you're going to lose it all, and you're going to have a blown account. And the decisions that you make while you're trading that account is going to dictate, you know, how if it's going to actually win the game and get to that payout that we're all trading for. And once people get closer to that goal, for whatever reason, emotions for it's like, okay, yeah, I'll take it from here. Logic, I'll take it from here. And then your emotions fuck it up, fucks it up for everybody, and just starts making stupid emotional decisions. And Squid Games really, it does a really good job of showcasing that. But I will say that this last season kind of did the same thing that happened to all great shows. For whatever reason, they decided to. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that because it'll probably spoil. Anyway, just the main point. Like I said, it's emotions are definitely they're definitely dangerous. It definitely is. Emotions will make a bad decision feel right. It will make a bad decision feel right. Hmm. Have a good fourth for yourself, Knife Art. Yeah, I'm thinking about taking that low as well, Cave Trader. thinking about taking it as well, but honestly, we'll see what happens, man. I'm just gonna wait for that break, and I'm gonna wait for the retest. It does look like so. I will say this right now: the Nasdaq is at support. It is at support. Right now, it's finding support at that swing low right there. So either the bulls break above this high, and we see like a small move to maybe the 21 EMA, or I'm sorry, the 200 EMA or VWAP, or we get this huge stop run underneath this low, because this is a double, triple bottom low right here. So we all know that the volume is low right now. So if you do go short underneath that low, it's highly likely to fail due to low volume. But that move to the upside could potentially fail as well, because right now the algos are selling it. And you can see that this is systematic price action right here with these wicks and lows. This is the algos are selling. This is algorithmic trading right here. It's systematic. So this is tough. This is definitely tough. Today is definitely an eval day. I wouldn't trade. Well, I'm not trading an account that this is a. I guess this could be considered a throwaway account. It's one of my Apex's accounts that that got renewed, and I wasn't going to trade the account that we're trading on stream at all today. I don't want to get into the habit of not trading because of certain market events, because there's always going to be a market event. There's always going to be a tweet. There's always going to be a CBI. There's always going to be a Powell meeting, data being released that could hold up the market, that could create uncertainty in the market. There's always going to be something in this market. So I don't ever want to create the habit of not getting in and trading. But on days where we see abnormal price action like this, or we see 2 days of straight up movement without any price action, it just grinds to the upside. And then as soon as the market participants takes their profits, not only did we take out all-time highs, but we traded past a psychological level at 23K. And then we took out the next psychological level at 23.1. So we took out 2 psychological levels without any price action. When I see stuff like that, I try to stay away from the markets, because I just know that there's a whole lot of manipulation that's going to happen, because the market has to rebalance. It has to rebalance itself. You're not going to have too many buyers, or the people that actually move these markets, wanting to participate at these highs. They're going to sell aggressive bulls, which is usually retail, the bag. I mean, they're going to sell it. You want to hold this bag all the way up here, I'll sell it to you. They're in down here. They're taking their profits up here. The aggressive bulls thinking that this thing can continue to go up higher. They're just going to exchange bags, and the aggressive bulls are going to just hold them. But you got VWAP sloping down. It's below VWAP. I'm sorry, below the 200 EMA. And usually that works in tandem. The 200 and VWAP usually kind of signal to me, like if VWAP is above the 200 EMA, then that tells me that this could potentially be a fake move. But once it crosses and it's underneath it, then that's when I know that, okay, that this is a real move right here. So we'll see. We'll see. I just don't like the fact that like right now that the 200 EMA is above VWAP. I don't like that for longs because that tells me that this could potentially be a fake out. Because if it does get past VWAP, then that means it also has to get past the 200 EMA, and that 200 EMA is basically God on this chart. Is basically God. Price doesn't really trade past that 200 EMA, especially when it's downtrending. You'll see the rejections. So when I see that, it's like, I don't know. Don't know. I don't think that's a real move. So we'll see. What I'm interested to see is if he's talking about the trend indicator. What I'm interested to see is if the bulls can push past that 50 EMA, that medium term EMA. That's what I'm interested to see. If we can get a push and a hold above that EMA, then we could potentially see price grind up to VWAP, or it could potentially grind up to the 200 EMA. But the short and medium term EMAs right now, they're not signaling that this thing can break out, at least not to me. We could see a breakout, but I think the breakout will potentially fail. The EMAs are not in agreement of a breakout right now. Right now, it's the EMAs are trending down, but we are starting to see them flatten out. So I'm just gonna wait for the break, and I'm gonna buy that retest. So uh, I'll just wait for that break. If we see a retest, then I'll buy it. If it reaches VWAP or the 200 EMA, then I'm not gonna buy it. The Nasdaq is really good at showing a lot of momentum to get traders in to the move, showing a lot of momentum in this candle, getting all the bulls hopeful. They said that, oh, that's a double bottom right there. They're showing a lot of momentum in that candle. We're about to get a range break. The Nasdaq is really good at fishing. So I kind of want to see some commitment from the bulls if this is a real move before I actually get into this. Yeah, I think so too. So Nightfire says that he thinks that ES 90, then 95, then to 271, 90, 95. Yeah, I can agree with that, especially with yesterday's orb potentially. I can definitely agree with that. The ES is definitely one that does not play about that 200 EMA. It's hard for the ES to trade above this without price action. It's just hard for it. Historically, the ES will stop at that 200 EMA. It may not. It will stop at that 200 EMA historically. So we'll see. She does not play. So yeah, I we'll see. We'll see. All right. So we got that break. Let's see what it does here. Yep, that's the thing. We gotta see if the Bulls can hold this. And yeah, we did get the break on the ES. You probably had to be. So if we do see a shot, I mean, this is the only. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, this will be 10 points too. 89. Yeah, this will be 10 points right here. Shit. I'll trust the ES more than I'll trust the Nasdaq. And just put a tight stop. Just put my stop underneath that candle. Or not underneath the candle, because we all know that's where liquidity will kind of come back from. All right, we'll see what happens here. I'll trust the ES break, but not the Nasdaq. I want to see a pullback on the Nasdaq. I'm going to pull these orders. If we see a push to VWAP or the 200 EMA before a pullback, I'm going to pull the orders. He says 295 is your target for you on ES. All right, so you're only looking for a 5-point target. It says on the VWAP test. Did it already test VWAP on your chart? Oh, 6287. Oh, so you got in at the breakout then, or at the breakout on ES. Shit, Investor Z says, fuck all that other shit, man. I'm getting in. I'm gonna get in. Uh, mm. I mean, no, 87. That's a decent entry. Oh, you probably talking about like when it tagged you in the first time, and then it pulled back. Oh, okay, 7 point. Okay, yeah. Because yeah. Or actually, yeah. Yeah, that would have been tough. Because yeah, it pulled back that little wick candle. This is to it. Actually, let me look at that, man. Wow. Mm, mm. But I'm gonna have to look at that. That park is. Hmm. 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 Shit, that's even if I get that. Okay. I'm just going to attach it to the 21 EMA. What I do like about this is that we're starting to see the EMA starting to flip. And if the 21 can get back above, if the 21 can cross and get back above the 50 EMA, then I'm confident that, or I'll be more confident that we'll get a test to VWAP. But like I said, if we get test to VWAP, I'm going to pull both of these orders. So I think VWAP is highly likely to target. And if it's not VWAP, it's potentially the 200 EMA. I just don't want to test that though. I kind of hate seeing it. Ah. Mm. Investor C says, what's your plans for the weekend? The same thing we try to do every weekend. We just try to take over the world. I'm going to be back testing. Yeah, that been too much information. Yeah, I plan on doing anything. I don't plan on doing anything this weekend except kind of going back and reviewing what happened on the charts. That's what I plan on doing. Yeah, running into the ground. I mean, shit. I mean, it's highly profitable. That is for sure. Honestly, what I should have did was looks like that short on gold actually might be trying to play out. And looks like that short on gold is trying to play out. Mm. Do I dare take it though? Do I take the short? Mm. Probably wait for the pullback. And I will say, man, that if you don't have the value area high and low on your gold chart, you're definitely missing out on great trades. That value area high and low on gold is so valuable. It's so valuable. Those are about 80% trades right there. The market usually reacts at the value area high and low. You should see a market reaction. The orb does not work on gold though. I put the orb thing on gold and out. Yeah. I mean, unless it's looking at 8 o'clock to 8:30, or is it looking at 8 o'clock to 8:15? Unless that's the time frame that is looking at. It's 8 o'clock to 8:15 because that shit does not work. At 8:30 to 8:45, it does not work. Or at least it didn't work this week. All right, so that would be about 8:30. About 8:45 would be the range. That would have been your break. You would have got caught. Yeah, that orb does not work. It's not a good strategy on gold, in my opinion. It's not consistent. It may work sometimes. I think it'll probably work just enough to make you think that it will work. You got a range breakout right here, which worked. It worked that day. About like 8:30. Let's just draw it out. 8:30. It's a rough estimate. 8:45. That'll probably be your high. That'll be your low. So you got a sweep of liquidity on the high. It didn't necessarily break out, and then it broke right back down to the damn low. But that didn't happen until about 9:50, an hour later. I don't know. I just don't feel like that's a good strategy on gold. I just think trading the price action, supply and demand on gold is the best strategy on gold. It's the best strategy. Make sure you got your value area highs and lows on gold and trade the pullbacks. I mean, gold is not complicated. It's not. I think what people fall victim to on gold is greed and impatience and trying to trade gold like she's a Nasdaq. Those were my flaws earlier on when I started trading her, until I was like, you know what? Let me just be patient, set limits at areas, and accept the results. And 9 times out of 10, you look for that strong move. I mean, it's highly likely it's going to pull back into an area of support. I mean, it's highly likely gold does the same shit. You get a strong move in one direction, you get a pull back into resistance, and you can get a great move down. I mean, gold ain't hard. When you start trading her like the Nasdaq, then you'll find out. Strong move in one direction, pull back into support. Great trade. I mean, that's all you need on gold. I mean, there's nothing else you need. Just be patient. Just let the market set up. Strong move down, pull back into resistance. Great trade. I mean, it's kind of simple. I mean, it's simple on gold. It ain't hard. It definitely ain't hard. Throw in a fib. If it lines up with the fib, I mean, shit, that's like the golden, what is it called? The Holy Grail. That's a Holy Grail right there. Gold is easy. But she wasn't giving any opportunities this week. I mean, this week she was on one. Like, she was definitely on one this week with all this grinding that she was doing back and forth. And with all this grinding back and forth, she didn't give too many good opportunities to get good entries. You had to yeah. If you was in something, man, she made you wait for that shit. She made you wait for it. All right, so that's a 10-point move. So at a rough estimate, 10 o'clock, that move started at All right, so she made you wait for an hour for 10 points. She made you wait for an hour for 10 points. Strong move in one direction, pull back into support. I mean, that shit is too easy. Two-legged pullback into support. Just gotta let this shit set up. Gotta be patient. And once you're patient, you'll get paid. You see a trend line break, I mean, that's easy money. She don't play them stupid Nasdaq games where she has to test the trend line 10 million times. You see that trend line break, you good. Uh, it says for gold, it says the Asian session 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The 2 hour range is better? 2 hour range, huh? And you're talking about that's Eastern time, right? About Eastern time? So Edgeful is just information. It's just back testing information. That's all that is. So I mean, well, I guess we can look at it. So it says from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock for me. So 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Let's actually just put it on the chart on that orb strategy. Let's just do that. Put it on gold and let's see, 6 p.m. Seriously? All right, to 8 o'clock. I know that 8 o'clock is a push, is a liquidity dump for me. So, so he said, Asian session 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it's a 2 hour range, huh? All right, so let's look at that. All right, so that's a 2 hour range right there. A 2 hour range, 6 to 8. That's, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Look at that. Damn. Okay. Damn. Look at that. It worked that time. This time it failed on both sides, man. Gold is nasty, dude. Gold is fucking, she's a bitch. That's crazy. She's a bitch for real. All right. She's definitely a bitch. She got the Bears and the Bulls, got them all excited, and then she broke above it. She broke above it about like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then she broke below it at about 7. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that was a 2 hour range. You got the break. That was 43, about 4 points. Pull back to the EMA. So we waited for the break and the pullback. They bought it at the EMA. That was 49. Mm. Yeah. So 3. That was a 10-point move to the downside right there. This was a clean break to the downside. This was clean. Mm. You said gold opens. This is gold opening range. It's 3 a.m. to 3:15. All right, let's try it. So that's Eastern. So that'll be 2 to 2:15 for me. 2 to 2:15. All right. Yeah, I mean, at least, I mean, um, I, mm, I mean, they definitely used the bottom of. I mean, but mm. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I don't see no consistency here on gold. I don't see the consistency. It works, but it doesn't. I'm not looking for these types of scalps. If I can catch something like this, if this, if it would show me something like this consistently, then I would put more faith in the orb with gold. Because you got fake outs to the upside, you got fake outs to the down. I ain't trying to think like that. I mean, like I said, you don't really need this on gold. Gold is so easy to trade. Just look for the strong move in one direction and trade the pullback. I mean, it's really that simple. Strong move, pullback, easy money. Make sure you're trading in the direction of the trend. You got a strong move right here. Wait for that pullback. That pullback back into demand. Gold, I mean, the great thing about gold is that it's a low liquidity instrument. That's the great thing about gold. You can take advantage of that. It's a low liquidity instrument. It's not going to, I mean, it's during that I remember that night where I traded against, or it was shorting and then all of a sudden it traded like 22 points in one direction. When I look back, I think I showed that to you guys as well, but uh when I look back at it, dude, it was literally this. I just had my chart zoomed in so I didn't see it. But it basically, like the previous day it had a low, it had a high, and it was just pulling back. It was just a big pullback because it was such a big move to the upside. So when it pulled back, I didn't notice that there was like a strong low down here. I was sitting here thinking that the market was going to go short, and it was just a pullback. And that's why we had that 22-point move to the upside where price just went to heaven. It just went straight there. And I was thinking like, damn, like where did I go wrong? And yada yada blah blah blah. And then all I had to do was zoom out of the charts and say, oh shit, yeah, that was my fault. Gold does the same shit, bro. It don't do nothing different. It just doesn't. All my losses on gold is when I trade outside of the framework. That's where all my losses come from, and not taking profits. But um ChatGPT says it opens up at 3 a.m. Nice. Nice, Nasdaq. Nice. Nice. Actually, let me ask. Okay. All right, let's look at that. So well, let me ask. I want to see what these. I'm gonna ask Chat GPT, and then I'm gonna ask Grok. I'm gonna ask Grok. When is the opening range for gold? All right, Grok. I mean, shit. Don't kill yourself trying to look for the answer. God damn. Dude, you gotta stop doing that. Okay. All right. Well, Grok is having a mental breakdown for whatever reason right now, and it's having a hard time finding my answer. I don't understand why. I refreshed the page. I'm not asking it to solve the freaking mysteries of life for me. I just ask, when's the opening range for gold futures? Elon Musk, what's up with that? Why is your AI model not answering my questions? Super Grok? Super Grok? Is it seriously? Super Grok? What the fuck is that? Super Grok? Super Grok. Okay. Uh, Okay, so Grok is stupid. All right, Grok. All right, Grok is stupid. All right. So now I know Grok is stupid. All right, let's look at this. I know not to ever ask Grok anything because it's stupid. It's in there answer like, dude, I asked it a simple fucking question. And it didn't I asked it a simple question. All right, so it's trying to say that we see institutional volume at around 7:20 in the morning to about 7:35. And this is Central Time, so it'll be 8:20 to about 8:35 for Eastern viewers. All right, so let's see. All right. I'm just seeing too many sweeps of liquidity. That's all I'm seeing. Excuse me. I'm just seeing too many sweeps of liquidity. I don't like that. If I want to trade an orb strategy, I don't care for the false breaks. I don't care. I don't care for stuff like that. I'm not saying that this is not a good strategy if you choose to trade it. I mean, but it's just too many false. Or at least this week, it was just too much. I mean, you got a clean break right here, somewhat. But just waiting for that pullback was. Yeah. Okay. So the gold strategy. I mean, for me, I won't be using the orb on gold. If it works for you, I would encourage you to keep using what works for you. I feel that gold is better traded passively than actively. I feel if you're actively trading gold, then you should just go trade the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is more of an active instrument where you can actively trade that. ES, gold, CL are more of a passive way or passive instruments to trade. You can trade gold actively, but if you want the big results, passively trading gold is the way to go, in my opinion. Okay. Actually, I think this is pretty interesting. I want y'all to see this. So AI can be demystified. All AI does is query databases. That's all this thing is doing. And then once it finds, so basically, all you're doing is a human readable query. That's all you're doing is when you're asking it a question. And then here is it searching and querying different databases for the information and pulling the sources. And then it comes up with your answer. So this is just basically a bot grabbing information from a database store, retrieving it, and returning it to you. So it's saying, so this is so two, so it says around like 7:20 to about is when the institution starts coming up. So 8:20 to 8:20 Eastern, 7:20 Central is when the institutional traders starts to come in. It says main session opening, high initial institutional activity at the open. Let's ask it that. Let's see what it says. It's trying to say that the orb strategy works better with the Nasdaq. Yeah, Grok, you're stupid. Yeah, Grok needs some work. He's stupid, or it's stupid. Grok still needs some work. So yeah, Grok is stupid. This AI actually okay, well, there we go. So it's saying that the 15-minute orb on the on the Nasdaq yielded a 45 to 51% success rate. The ES orb is 78%. The 60-minute orb on the ES is at 89%. That's pretty good. So, I mean, we don't need AI to tell us this. I was just testing the AI to see if it was going to give me accurate information. We know that the ES orb works way better than the Nasdaq orb. The ES doesn't play around with this orb. Once it breaks out, I mean, it's going to push. It may pull back, but it's going to push in that direction. The Nasdaq likes to do all the manipulative mind games before she actually breaks out. So knowing that beforehand and asking the AI to actually give me the information that I was looking for, that's what makes me trust this AI. Because Grok was talking all kind of bullshit, talking about uh, the Nasdaq has a 65% win rate. Like, what the fuck? The Nasdaq fakes out so many times. There's no way that you get 65%. You have to be super patient. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. When I say that I'm so glad that I didn't trade this in an account that I care about, this thing failed so many times today. Like I said, I didn't, from the start of the session, I didn't think that the market was going to move outside of this range. We saw a quick pop above it, but looks like price is coming back into the orb. It looks like it failed at 92, which is very interesting. And this is what I'm talking about when, especially on the ES. So if you're an ES trader, your focus should be on the ranges that the ES makes, because ES is a very range based, volume based instrument. The ES loves to make measured moves. It loves to pull back to previous ranges. It loves to break and retest. The ES just loves to do certain things. You're not going to see behaviors outside of like this kind of price action was obviously manipulation on the ES part. However, even though it's obvious manipulation, this was still a range breakout. This is price pulling back into the range, breaking below, and look at what it's doing. It pulls back and it's retesting it. This is what the ES loves to do. This is why the ES is a very simple instrument. You can make a lot of money on the ES. It's all simple. No manipulative mind games. Just pay attention to where your range is at. Pay attention to your breaks and structures. Play the retest. It's a 90% trade. You're not going to get too many 90% trades. I don't want to say 100 because there are times where the ES, especially during news and a whole lot of volatility, that she'll break, like right here. That retest of this move, price grinded to the upside. You're going to get stuff like that sometimes. When you start to see this grinding, that's when you know that the market is trying to do one thing, but the sentiment is doing something else. The market wanted to go higher. The institutions wanted to go higher. And as people tried to sell into this, all it did was just use their stops to push this market higher. And this is usually what happens when we have low volume on the ES. Low volume on any instrument, period. And so that grinding is definitely a great indication that, okay, well, if the bears are having, if they're aggressively trying to sell into this, and yet their stops is being used as fuel to push this market higher, and it's trending on the EMAs, it's a great sign that, okay, this is something that I should not be shorting. Because even if you do get like a small little break, you can see that once the market has made its mind up in which direction it wants to go, hell or high water, it will get there. It will get there. And these EMAs, and this is why I keep EMAs on my chart. I know a lot of people say take the EMAs off, but the EMAs give you so much information about the price action I like to me, I say if you don't have EMAs on your chart, how do you know where you are? How do you know where you are on the charts if there's no EMAs on it? But I'm gonna digress from that. Everybody can make money on this on the charts the way they want to. But when I see stuff like this, I know that okay, I shouldn't short this. And I should be patient if I'm not a part of the move. If I'm not a part of the move, I should be patient. Or I should do or I'll do what I did yesterday. Attach my entry to the 21 EMA and eventually it's going to tag it. And so if I got in at this EMA 780, I would have been in 6 points of drawdown, which my stop wouldn't have gotten touched. And I would have gotten this big move to the upside. So yeah, when it comes to the ES, it's just very simple. You don't have to worry about too much. That's why I'm very comfortable trading size on the ES. Super size. I think yesterday I might have been in like 9 or 12 contracts. And I went to sleep knowing that my stop wasn't going to get hit. That's how comfortable I am with the ES because she does the same shit. Nasdaq, man, if I had 12 contracts on the Nasdaq, shit, I don't know. I don't know. Probably have nightmares, and then the first thing I'll do is wake up and then check the charts. Where's VWAP on your chart, Zard Trader? VWAP is for at least for the session. The session VWAP for me is at 958. I don't know if you're using the weekly VWAP. I can see actually where that's at because the weekly VWAP should be on my higher time frame chart. Yeah, so that's not my chart. Oh shit, do I have VWAP on this chart? I don't. I don't have VWAP on this chart. That's interesting. I don't have VWAP on the chart. That's interesting. All right, so I guess yeah. So this is a weekly VWAP. So weekly VWAP for me is down here at 822. That's like 42, 47. So it's a win. It's definitely a win. So if we do see a pop, we got that value area high at 942. And it does amazes me sometimes where that we have low volume when the Nasdaq is respecting its volume area highs and lows. And you know that we're in low volume. I usually don't have this on my Nasdaq chart because over time, especially during when the market is moving, the Nasdaq doesn't really respect its value area high or low. It doesn't respect it. You'll see price trade around it. You'll see price rotate back and forth around it. But I wouldn't start a position at a value area high on the NASDAQ or as low. But you can definitely do that with the ES. You can definitely start a position at the value area high, at a value area low on the ES because it respects it just like gold. It respects it. It breaks out of it. You can use it as support. You can use it as resistance. It respects its value area. See a break of structure? Yeah. So Oh, you're using your okay, your anchored VWAP. Let's actually look at that. I mean, why not? Let's look at that because if we can utilize that to go along with the orb, I mean that shit. Why not? All right, so let's anchor. Maybe I don't know if I have an anchor VWAP. Let me see. Can I anchor this? So I got an order flow VWAP. Actually, I do want to see this real quick. I do want to see this. I do want to see. I do want to see what it looks like because this VWAP comes with a standard deviation. I don't use this for obvious reasons, but I just wanted to see what it looked like. All right, so let's see if I have an anchored VWAP indicator on this thing. Yeah, I don't see one. Okay. Yeah, let's see. All right, so apparently I can have this VWAP function as an anchored VWAP. Okay. Calculated. All right, I guess I have to read this crap. All right. Um, I actually do have the uh I used to have that indicator, but the only thing that I use on it, or actually no, I am actually using that indicator. But the only thing that I look for is the weekly close. I don't look for anything else. I don't care about the open, low, high close actually. It's just I don't care about that. The only thing I care about is cuz I see the market response to it so often is the previous week's close. Hold on. Hold on, I think my go. All right, so Czar Trader, yeah, sure. Give me a second. Hmm. Give me an option to do a custom tone. Oh my god, dude. Okay. So all right, did you send me something on Twitter or something? Did you send me something? That is, dude, that is definitely.
No, you don't hit, Jaden. Stop.
Hmm.
For killing big game. They had to think ahead. And this is one of the most important human traits. They had to realize that winter was coming and to save enough food and fuel for the fire to stay alive. As this book, The 10,000 Year Explosion, explains on page 114, some people refuse to think ahead. The authors write, efforts to teach Bushmen to become herders frequently fail when they eat all their goats. You can't persuade them to keep some goats alive, tend the flock, and get more goats in the long run. They don't think about the long run. They kill all the goats, gorge themselves, and then go hunting when they get hungry. This unwillingness to think ahead is typical of low IQ populations. The 10,000 year explosion this book talks about is the speed of human evolution since the invention of agriculture, which was about 10,000 years ago. That created so many changes in the environment, so many new variations in how society worked, that human groups started evolving about 100 times more quickly than in the Stone Age.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's me. And you said that you sent me a. Honestly, shit, I don't even know how to. I don't even know. Yeah. Where did you post it at? This is why I don't get caught up on Twitter. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, my daughter would do that. Messages. On the last post. Okay. Oh crap. I mean, man, oh my God. There's so much crap that I could be doing. Hey, I'll just drop the link of the Discord. And just, if you got a Discord. So that's what the Anchor VWAP looks like. So you anchor it onto 7. Okay. Okay. So kind of explain to me, what am I looking at here? All right. So I think that's very similar to what we was looking at before. That's the NAS, that's the ES. That's very similar. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, we was talking about this area earlier today about that right now that the market may not break this right here because it's low liquidity, but at the same time, it may not break that high. So we may get priced to trade within this little range right here. Yeah, I think the most we get is VWAP. But I'm gonna start actually, so I'm gonna back test that Zara Trader. I actually have to create it. I have to create a damn trading template for my Anchor VWAP to work. It says control panel, or go to tools. God damn it. So go to tools, select trading hours. It says add a new template. We're gonna say trading orb, or I call it the orbiter. Central time. So I wanted to start at 8. So you said 7:55, huh? And so hold on, is that 7:55 Eastern or is that 7:55 Central? Well, I guess no. All right, never mind. It doesn't even. Well, yeah, I guess that does make sense. Are you anchoring it off of your Central time or Eastern time? We can try. I mean, honestly, I might just try both. Why not? Because I mean, if it's 8:30 for me, I guess 54 would make sense. I guess if I'm going to think about it, end of day. Yeah, I don't trust this, so I might as well just do it myself. Okay. All right, so let's look at this. All right, so I'm very interested to see how this will look. I got the anchored VWAP. I'm going to set it to 7:55 before the orb starts. And I'm attached it to the candle at 7:55. Ah, shit. Mm, I might have to. Hmm. I might have to. Do this again. All right. So I have to do this every day. Let me just do it for today and see how that looks. And see how it looks. Looks like I have to do it every day. Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay. Okay, so let me try this again. Let me just try this again. 'Cause it's not going to let me edit it for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it didn't let me edit it. Okay. And I don't want to. Okay, Central Time starts Monday, ends Friday. Or nah, that's not. I don't think. We'll see what happens, man. Because this thing is just. I think it's not as advanced as I think it is. I don't think so. I'll try it though. Oh, okay. So it looks like okay. All right. I see what. Okay. I see what I've done. So I got to put this for every day, I think. Shit, I got to do this shit every day. Okay. I got to do it every day. So I want to see what happened on Thursday, actually. So because it's the function as a anchored VWAP every day, I have to set it up that way every day and have it end. End time 04 p.m. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Uh, uh, the orbiter. I got two of these. Well, I think yo, that's look at that. I think that's huh. I think that's pretty clear. 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 Hmm. I think that's pretty clear. Hmm. I don't think let me see. On a day where the Nasdaq was just being super nasty on her orbs. All right, so let's so what's today was what July 1st was Tuesday, I think. Was it Tuesday? All right. So let me add one for Tuesday. So yeah, I guess the way this thing is set up, I'm gonna have to do it for every single day. I guess that's fine. It's not a big deal. It just would have worked better if it wasn't like that. All right, so I don't need both of these. All right, so I'm just gonna add it. So I think that was like Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Is that Wednesday? I think that's good. I think that makes sense to have the volume to tell you where the volume is, so you don't get faked out. All right. All right, so let's adjust this. guys, I think this is it. I think this is it. Yo, Zar Trader, appreciate that, man. I think this is it. I think this is it. I think we can have a winning strategy here. Just adding the anchored VWAP to the chart. I think that's going to be a game changer. Let's what is that? July 1st. So that's Tuesday. If that was Wednesday, so let me look at Tuesday. Tuesday was that day where it was like we had the false breakout and then it just dumps. All right. All right. So let's add I mean, obviously, eventually I'm gonna have to add all the days, but Tuesday. End of day. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to switch it. And if this is this accurate on the Nasdaq, oh my God! Think about the ES. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Oh wow! Look at that! So yeah, look at that. I think this will give us a lot of context. Adding VWAP to the charts and seeing where the volume is. This right here would have, yeah, okay. We'll test it out. We'll definitely test it out. Because VWAP pointing to the downside, that right there should have gave us all the information that we needed right there. All right, cool. And I think that's a great way to end the stream too. We went into we'll end the stream at 11 o'clock then. 11 o'clock. And I'll just go and play around with this, I guess. So where is actually, so today is Friday. Let me actually just put, so I might as well just have everything set up now. So this tool can be ready for next week. Let's look to see where it's at right now, where VWAP is right now. And as long as we follow our rules, as long as we follow the rules, I might as well just add the Monday. We don't need Sunday, for obvious reasons. 07 54 04 p.m. All right, so we got the orb strategy set up. Cool. Let's look to see where VWAP is on the chart. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Look at that. 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 Hmm. Yeah, sure. And we'll definitely showcase the results on stream, of course. So the anchored VWAP, so it's 7:55 in the morning, and it runs all day. And so that's where so VWAP is anchored at the 7:55, so that will be 8:55 for you. And and it runs all day, and then it restarts during the next session at 7 or 8:55 for you. So just kind of, yeah. And I think that's actually a pretty good indication of because its price pulled back to VWAP as it was riding up. It rolled the trend lines. It's interesting because you could have got into the orb a little bit early if you trusted the VWAP touch. But if I saw it bounce off of VWAP and then start in this big candle on the 21 EMA, I definitely would have got into that. VWAP doesn't lie. VWAP is a volume indicator. So if the volume is bullish, it does not lie. I think a way that because I can tweak this. I can tweak this to be, well, no, I don't want it to do that. I don't want it to do that. Because I can tweak this to turn from green to red based on where price is, but I think that's just too much. I think it'll probably give a lot of false indications of what the market is trying to do. Right now, the VWAP is sideways, so obviously that tells me that it's not bullish or bearish. It's just the algo's chopping price, ping-ponging price back and forth. But when you see something like this, you know that, okay, the bulls are in. We're looking for the range breakout to the high. We're looking for the range breakout. The bulls are in this thing. We're looking for the range breakout to the high. This right here, I mean, even that day when the market was chopping, or not this day, but this day right here, you can see that VWAP was going down and then it flattened out. And right around the time when price was breaking out, you saw the market curve. But it looks like this VWAP can now be used as a indication of what side you should trade on the breakout. Yeah, right here, we had price. Yeah, right before the breakout happened too. We have VWAP going up, so yeah, okay. Or at least this week, this thing worked out. Great indication of where the market was going. We had a breakout. So 566. So about 566, so about 33 points. It pulls back 10 points. Then it goes back up. Then it pulls back. Is that like 15 points? Yeah, it's about like 1566. Yeah, about 16, 17 points. I still would have been in this with a 27-point stop. And you caught that move all the way to the upside. And that happened at 10:30. It's just that false breakout would have got you. That false breakout the first time would have got you. And then it would have went back to the break even and broke out and then pulled back. Mm. Mm. So the break, the pullback, and then that second break. Okay. We can definitely we can do this. Yeah, This time it didn't break and pull back. Oh, I guess it kind of did. I guess it did break and pull back right there. It did break out of the range and then it pulled back to the EMAs and then it shot up. So that second break definitely worked out. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Dorsey, it definitely was, man. It definitely was. You said when you open your live account, you're gonna do it on your live account? My bad. So oh, you have the free VWAP? Okay. All right. Yeah, so yeah, that order flow VWAP, I think it's a part of the lifetime license with NinjaTrader 8. Zard traders, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know if you can automate it on I don't know if you can automate it on oh shit, I mean, I guess we might as well, man. We might as well. Let's actually let's go back. Let's add some data to let's add some days to it. All right, so let's look at the last 18 days and see what happened. I mean, the market is not moving, so we might as well just back test. I mean, it's a great opportunity to back test. Why not? Hmm. Yeah, I think this is the day that Alpha got caught right here on that range break to the downside. I remember me and Alfred was talking about this, and I was like, man, I don't know. That looks like a strong move to the upside, a break, or a strong move to the upside, and the bulls bought the pullback. I remember talking to Alfred about that, about this one. Yeah, that's why. So, I mean, there's so much context that you have to think about when you're trading the orb. The orb is, if we're just going to bring the orb down to earth and just really think about what it's actually doing, at the end of the day, the orb is still a range. At the end of the day, it's going to behave like a range. We know that ranges are basically where buyers and sellers are exchanging contracts. So in this area, this is a range is basically a balanced area. This is where the market has found equilibrium right here, because this is where they're exchanging contracts back and forth. We get the imbalance when we see a breakout from this area of balance. So if we're just imagining the range as balance, once we see that breakout, we know that above this range, there are stops and below the range, there are stops. But we call them stops depending on which side of the market you are. This is a protection for buyers to stop themselves out of a losing positions to reduce their loss. But for sellers, this is liquidity. So they can use this liquidity to fuel the market lower and vice versa. These stops are for bears to reduce their risk. But for bulls, this area is liquidity so they can get the market to go to where they want it to go. When you think of the market in those terms, starting from a range, that's half the battle with the market because that's all the market does is break out from ranges and pull back, and we'll go from there. So if we're seeing a false breakout, all we're seeing the market doing is grabbing the easy liquidity below a range so it can use the stops as fuel so it can get to the other side of the range. We usually see a pullback to the EMAs, we see another breakout. And if the market continues to make this trending pattern where it's making higher lows and higher highs, then we know that we're now the market is breaking out from an area of balance and the market is about to go and it's about to start to trend. You'll see this price action on the ES beautifully. Because the ES bread and butter is ranges. That's why it's very simple to trade. If you just pay attention to where the market creates its ranges, you'll see that the market rotates around the range. We'll get a breakout, a pullback to the T of that range, and then we'll see the market continue higher. It pulls back to that same range, and then it goes back up and it retests that high. The ES is such easy money. It's such easy money. You don't need a big stop. You don't need a big stop. You just need big patience. You just need to be patient for the setup and trust it because it's going to work. 9 times out of 10, it's going to work. And if you have a decent 2 to 3 point stop, it's a small loss. What makes the ES difficult is if you're not going to be patient. And those times where the ES kind of does, where she'll break out and then she'll pull back, something like this. If we took the orb earlier on, that news candle would have probably taken me out. Actually, let's look at that. So 41, 35. So that's like a 6 point stop. If I had a 10 point stop, I would have been good. But I'm looking to reduce my stop to like 3 to 4 points on the ES because sometimes you just don't know what she'll do in real time. So I like just to have the bigger stop initially until I see some commitment from whichever side of the market I'm trading on. All right, so let's see if this would have saved me. Damn. All right, yes. Huh. All right, so the anchored VWAP strategy, it seems to not want to work on the ES. All right, so at least for the ES, the anchored VWAP is not a good, it would have gave me false signals. Let me just try this again. Let me look at it again. I think I would have got, I mean, those 2 days, we would have definitely got false signals on the ES. We had a good signal here. I mean, technically, I guess, yeah. We had a good signal here. This right here, though, this day right here, if the only reason, actually, just let's add some days to this real quick. The only reason why I knew that this day was going to be a false breakout or a false breakdown this day or this day right here was because this was a strong move and this was just a pullback this was just a pullback retest. So we had a strong move right here and I had a feeling that this was going to be a pullback. And it was, and I was able to take the range breakout to the high and get 15 points. I tried to tell Smith about this, but he ain't listen. Told him don't paper hand this shit. Diamond hand it is going to push. Because you don't see the market, you don't see all this buying, and then you see the market take out that low. You just don't see it, especially after the market takes liquidity underneath the range. And that's another cheat code on the ES. You see price take liquidity underneath the range and breaks back into the range, then you know that the move is to the upside. But this one is going to be, this is tough. This is tough because the value area is actually, oh, that's gold. $234, $241. $211, $229. Okay. But this one was tricky though. This one was definitely tricky. Because if false, the ES was nasty on this day. The ES was definitely nasty. Well, mm, mm. I guess I'll just look over this crap. But I mean, this one's kind of obvious. This one was obvious. A rally base rally. This one was obvious. There's gonna be those days where the market is going to be slow. Those are the days that's going to be. That's what's going to be challenging about this. Mm. Um. Yeah. Give me a second, Dorsey. Mm. I wonder why I did that. Why I was doing that right now. Okay. I don't know why I did that. I apologize about that. I don't know why I did that. All right. Okay. So I guess I can just get rid of all of this stuff and get rid of all of these tools. Just clean the chart off for until next week. So yeah, so you would go to your control panel, and where it says workspaces, you would go to if you saved it. If you saved the workstation. That's what's going to be the key here. If you saved your workstation, you should have given it a name, and you can just go back to the last saved instance of that workstation by clicking it. You said check out. So this is the ES strat right here. So this is just taking the breakout to the high on or actually, well, yeah, I'll just let you explain it. So what's going on here, Cave Trader? Yeah, I kind of, man, we kind of figured that this is the kind of price action that we was going to get today. Right now, we started the session or the 8:30 volume was 197,000, roughly 197,000, not accurately. This is a rough estimate. All these are just rough estimates of what the volume was around the time. I'm not going to be that. What's the correct word I want to use? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it'll come to me later on today. I guess I don't want to be a dick for a tick. I'm not going to sit here and just get the exact number. I'm just going to get a rough estimate around that time frame and a rough estimate around 8:45. So this is just a rough estimate right here, and we've only had 50,000 extra contracts traded since 8:45. So you said it won't open. So when you click on it, is there a name? Did you name your workstation? Did you even save your workstation? Because NinjaTrader 8 is not going to automatically save it. You have to save it yourself, and it gives you an option of giving it the workstation a name. So when you log in to NinjaTrader the next time, you're going to load up that last saved instance of your workstation. If you haven't given your workstation a name, it's highly likely that it was not saved. So you're going to have to probably reset up your chart. So you saved it. So nothing's coming out in workstation at all. Well, if nothing's coming out, you can. The next best option is to talk to the chat bot, the support chat bot, and if that bot can't resolve your issues, then it'll just route you to a live person, and they can just kind of walk you through. Because they'll be the best people, or they will have more information than me. Yeah. And rest in peace to full Nasdaq traders, the E-mini Nasdaq traders. You only got 70,000 contracts being traded at the moment. This kind of volume is kind of normal for gold, but still, yeah. Hopefully gold, man. But you know what? I guess for right now, so I was targeting, on our yesterday's session, I was targeting this area to go short on gold, but I was targeting 39. I was targeting 39.6, I think, or yeah, 39.6. Because it's right there at that little push up higher right there. So I was targeting 39.6. And If I was in this right now and saw that it bounced at 40 after trying to target 39.6, I don't know, man. I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't know. I think I know exactly what I would do. I would wait until the close of the session in the next 30 minutes. But it would be kind of foolish to have a lot, because I mean, I don't think it's going to break above these highs. We could see the market start on Sunday session with a gap down, and then we could potentially see the bulls try to buy it up. But I just find it very interesting that the market chose to bounce at 40 when my target would have been at 39.6. Like, what's up with that shit? I do see that it did bounce at R1. So, I mean, I have to remember, and this is just my NASDAQ tendencies, I tend not to trust these pivot points to the exact number, but time and time again, these pivot points have shown that they are very accurate on gold and ES. I'm pretty sure it's accurate on CL too. I'm pretty sure. But the market doesn't, they do not tend to play at these pivot points. So looks like so my gold position, if I didn't take profits, it's looking like gold once the buyers are coming in right now on gold on Bookmap. Looks like the buyers are coming in. Yeah. Yep. So if I didn't take the profits on here on gold, well, I guess, well, yeah. I mean, I have to remember that the value area high and low on gold, uh, that actually means something. It actually means something on gold. So if I'm not taking profits at the value area low, then I could be in trouble. So if I would have gotten in at 53, and I only been in like a 12-point play right there. I was looking for 15. I was looking for a 15-point play on gold because I mean potentially we can get it. That's why I was looking for it on yesterday. But we got the 15-point play right here or right here. And this is what I was looking for, 15 points. I got it right there. Hold on, give me a second. Pretty true. All right. You can do this. Hold on. Okay. Can you just stay in your room until daughters? They know exactly when to mess with you, but they don't want nothing to do with you if you're not doing something important. All right. All of a sudden, now my daughter wants to come here and mess with me. All right. Instead of being in her room and watching her TV with all her favorite shows on it. Damn, there's a whole lot of selling coming in right now. I wonder what that's about. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, that's what makes the ES dangerous because you don't get in at a good spot. And then you got size on it. Oh. Yeah, today was just not one of those days. Mm. Okay. Mm. Well. Mm. We'll see how that works out. We'll see how it works. Okay. Well, all right. Mm. I think that's probably what I did too. That's probably what I did. Because it's not on the chart anymore. But for whatever reason, oh. What'd you do, Cave Trader? Oh yeah, I guess. Hold on. Did you ever explain what this is looking for? I don't think you explained what this was looking for. And how did you make the ES even better? What'd you do? All right, no problem. You know what, 500? I'm surprised you traded this, man. I'm surprised you traded this. I lost $4,700 in a throwaway account trying to go long, and this thing keeps stop. It stopped me out twice on both the Nasdaq and the ES. I did not trade my accounts that we're tracking. I just knew the day we were just gonna kind of stay in this range. I just had a feeling that we was gonna stay in this range today, and that's exactly what we did today. I did not trust this at all, especially because we had two big days. Now, this is normal for the ES, but when I see this kind of price action on the ES, my first instinct is to try to stay away from the price action. If I'm going to trade, I'll trade an eval that I don't care about. But I was not going to risk trading in an eval that I worked hard and was patient in. And it's interesting that I associate being patient and waiting for the setups as hard work. That's something that I'm going to try to discover when I self-reflect this weekend. Because I associate being patient and waiting for a good setup and making money as hard work. I'm glad I said that. Actually, I need to do that for my self-reflection this week. I need to do that. Put that in my notes. No, it's just I guess I kind of well, I don't know if you just anyway, it doesn't matter. I just had a feeling that we was going to stay in this range because of just the psychology on the charts. If you think about what happened this week, or if you think about everything that's happened this week, and you kind of pay attention to the psychology on this charts, because I mean, even though we're prop traders and we don't really care about anything outside of our stops and our targets and our maximum daily profits and how much we need to make to get a payout, these markets are being traded by big institutions, people that are money managers that are tasked with managing a lot of money. The small amount of contracts that we trade versus the amount that they trade are totally different. I have a hard time filling a 20 micro position sometimes. I've had price literally trade through my limit, only filled 10 and kept going. And then price would fall right below my target and then it would fill it again as it went above it. When I saw that happen, of course I was pissed off at the time, but as I think about it from a larger perspective, that's what these larger institutions go through with their 10,000, 1,000 big lot size positions. They don't get them all filled. And so with that in mind, we look at the psychology of that. We saw for 2 days straight, the market just grinded higher. That tells me that as retail or whomever was trying to sell into this move, all these institutions were just buying the dips, grinding price higher, grinding. We had no pullback. We had no price action. We just had the market grind to the upside. That right there is a red flag. That tells me that the market is trying to get somewhere and it doesn't have enough time for it to do it. That's usually when we see grinding. We usually see grinding ahead of big news. We usually see grinding during short weeks. These guys have quotas to meet, and you better believe that they're going to meet them. So grinding is a big indication of that. The ES, and we can talk about, it's the same thing on the Nasdaq as well. But the Nasdaq reached all-time highs. The ES did not reach its all-time highs. I just had a feeling that the bulls, at least on the ES, was not going to let it go until they reached their all-time highs. Not only did the ES reach its all-time highs, it made new all-time highs. And after we got that price action yesterday, we're seeing now the market slowly grind down to the downside. It's low liquidity too. So when I see price action like this, and then I see that we're low volume, it's highly likely that the market is not going to do anything because they've already completed their objective already. They've exceeded their objective. They've taken out their all-time high. I believe it was at 285 was ES all-time high, I believe, on the September contract. And then they exceeded their expectation. And now we're seeing the result of that. Same thing on the Nasdaq. Not only did they take out the 23K psychological level, they took out the 100, the 23-1 psychological level on the Nasdaq. The market's already completed its objective. And now they're just letting everybody else play. The big boys are done. If we look at the volume, you can see that the institutions aren't playing right now. They're not. There we go. If we look at the volume at the start of the session till now, the institutions aren't playing. There was 197 contracts trading at the 8:30 start, and at 8:45 there was only 211,000 contracts. So right now, only 66,000 contracts was added since that time frame. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. So with all that, that's why I said in the beginning of the session that I wouldn't trade a funded account or an eval that you're working hard in. Just trade a throwaway account because the market is going to chop. I mean, this is not the first time the market's done it. It does it all the time. It doesn't change. It just does it all the time. But K Trader said, K Trader, did you send it to me like in a DM or something? Okay. Well, just let me know, Cave Trader, whenever you give your explanation. I'm going to end the stream at the close. So just to give you a heads up, like in the next 8 minutes, we'll go into the weekend. But just to kind of, so it says, I guess you're right. To the left and take the future range. Yeah, that's exactly right. 500. It wasn't worth it today. They accomplished their objective yesterday. They've accomplished their objective yesterday. And we all know that this is highly likely going to be a sell for tomorrow. Or we might get a gap down on Sunday session. Hold on. Excuse me. We might get a gap down on Sunday session. We know that if we see a big move to one side, a drop, a base, it's highly likely that we'll see another drop. It's highly likely that we'll see a gap down. Or if we don't see a gap down, we'll see the market roll over on Sunday, especially if they take out this double bottom low. We'll see a stop run underneath these rows. So it's highly likely, depending on what happens when everybody gets back to their desk. If we get a stop run underneath that low, we're going down. I mean, where else is price going to go? I guess we could see a retest of the high. I guess we could see price continue, I guess. I guess we could see that. But right now it's crucial for the bulls to defend this low right here. It's crucial for them to hold that pullback. And that weekly close at 740, I think that's a good target for the bears. That's probably a really good target for the bears, or somewhere close, because the market has been bouncing around that 735 area. For whatever reason, the market has just been trading back and forth through it. That 735, like it'll trade through it, it comes back and reverses, and then it breaks through it. So I think, yeah, that 735, 740 is probably a good area that the bears are going to take their profits, and bulls are going to try to build positions in this area. I'm going to be looking for this. I'll look to see how price reacts at this area. Yeah, 500. You're definitely singing everybody's tune right now. When it comes to the Nasdaq, man, you just want more. Nothing's good enough. Nothing's good enough. You just want more. But honestly, I think so I believe what we should start doing is like maybe on Sunday session when we're preparing for the new week. I think a great addition to the stream would be to talk about our plans for the week. Like if we're going to set a profit goal for the week, like if I want to make $10,000 by the end of next week, and just having a daily goal on how to reach that for the next 4 to 5 days, I think that's actually would be a great way to kind of condition ourselves to be mindful about market objectives that we create for ourselves, because the market has objectives. The market knows where it wants to go, and market participants will keep buying or selling until they get to that objective. And you know that the market reaches its objective once you see price action like this. And let me see if you guys may not be able to see that. You know the market's reached its objective when you see selling like this. When you see buying like this, the market reaches its objective, and you see selling like that. And as traders, if we have that same objective, not necessarily a price objective, because obviously we don't control where price goes. We can only go along for the ride. But what we can control is how much money that we're looking to make for the day and how much money that we're trying to go into the weekend with. And just having strategies already set aside when we're not in an emotional state, and try to stick to that planning even if we get hit in the face. And at the end of the week, like on Friday's session, we can talk about, were we successful at least adhering to our plan? Even if we didn't make it, one of the biggest things that I'm finding out during self-reflection is that initial innate fear of failure, fear of not living up to my expectations. So it's easier to just go wild, wild west so I don't have to feel the pain of failure, of not reaching my goals. Because if I don't reach my goals, then what does that say about me? Does that say that if I set a goal that I won't be able to achieve it? All those thoughts creates all negative feelings. These feelings will dictate how you move, how you trade. And the crazy thing is if you come in with a negative mindset and with a thought that, oh, I might lose, even though you don't want that to happen, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as crazy as that freaking sounds. So I usually find myself being successful when I'm just focused on my wins and I'm just focused on what I'm trying to achieve. And when I go and back test and I look at the charts and I was like, man, that was a great trade. If I got in maybe a point or two after, I got that, I saw the setup, it wouldn't have worked, but it worked just enough so I can get my target. It worked just enough to get my profit goal. And after you reach your profit goal, you don't care what the market does after that. So I think that's something that I'm going to start implementing with the stream, just so we can get used to failure, potentially. I think once we get used to failing, like what the biggest loser wins, when you become comfortable with being a loser, that's when you begin to win. So you said that you posted it in the let's look at that. Let's look at that. And then that'll be the last thing that we talk about. And we'll go into the weekend. And hopefully, as I said 3 times now, let's go into the weekend with our fingers and our toes and come out of the weekend with our fingers and our toes. Let's keep our fingers and our toes, people. Because how else are we supposed to trade? Oh, you haven't done it yet? How else are we supposed to trade if we don't have our fingers? Okay. Let me know when you post it. Okay. So what are you showing me here? Let's look at this. So this is on the ES. Yeah, in about like 5 minutes, Cave Trader, I'm gonna have to go. So I'll give you 5 more minutes. Okay. So that's the ES entry, 10 ticks above the orb. Stop is 75 ticks. Target's 150 ticks. Price has to be above VWAP. Enter it hits profits and exits at sessions close. Okay. 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 All right. But all right, everybody. That's it for me. I'm going to go into the weekend. Again, please don't blow your fingers or your toes off. And we'll definitely come back Sunday night and we'll look for more opportunities to earn some more money. With that said, peace out, everybody.